the walk around, I kind of get into some of that.
Sure.
I do talk about what their plan is.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I guess I don't pepper them for the complete disclosure all at once
Uh,
uh, when they come in.
it, specifically in the beginning, and you're right, you don't want to put them underneath a spotlight, a CIA interrogation. By no means you want to create that feeling. Um, but some really soft entry questions. Here, go ahead and sign in. Thanks for coming out today. Appreciate you showing up today. Please sign in per seller's request. And we'd like to get some feedback. So there's a feedback form there. You put your name at the top, or you just hold, or you have it. There's two ways to do this. I'm getting into the technical aspects of this. Seller request check-in. Uh, what's your name? What's your name, please? Welcome. Welcome. What's your name, Doug? Okay, Doug. What's the best phone number and email?
Well,
Okay.
I don't see.
Okay. That's one. That's hold on. That's one technique. The other technique is to per seller's request. We are required to ask for everybody that comes through the property to register. So please go ahead and complete the top. Below is some feedback for the property. I'll collect that when we're done. Oh, by the way, what brought you in today?
You want me to answer that?
No, that's some of the real quick intros um, to collect that information. Know whether or not they write.
This last weekend, I had great response by saying
Mm-hmm.
that there's a pre-inspection report on this property,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can get you to leave me, put your address and phone number and email, I'll email this to you when I get home, so that you'll have um,
Okay,
that information to consider. And
that's wonderful,
I
Douglas.
got every one of them to fill it out.
That's wonderful. What you're doing there is the fair trade. It's a fair trade. So you're leveraging something that they would like to have for something that you would like to have. That's a fair trade of information.
I didn't feel like I was grinding on anybody to get their information because it was, hey, give me your email address and phone number, and when I get home, I'll send you the pre-inspection report. I do have copies of the highlights here today that I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you, and I hand it out to them to give
Mm-hmm.
them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. But
Okay. So what are some other discovery type of questions? know, before we demo or while we are demonstrating the product, showing the home, touring the home, what are some very specific questions that we can be asking?
I always make sure that I ask if they were pre-approved, if they've gone and talked to a lender yet.
Okay.
In today's market, it's really important that you're pre-approved before you start really looking at a home seriously.
Okay.
Um,
What type of financing?
right.
Okay.
What's
Uh,
the reason for moving? Uh,
okay. Purpose.
are you trying to move closer to work? Closer to school. Um,
Purpose for moving. Uh,
family changing. Do you have
then
kids?
then specific. What brought you in today? How did you happen to find us?
Yeah. How did you find us? Zillow or Redfin usually.
Hmm.
Don't tell them, but there is one more key critical one.
All right, I'm writing these down.
One more key critical one, Doug.
Megan, you want to chime in?
I probably do it. I just,
Is this going to be your primary home or investment property? Do you have something to sell?
I do not ask that one typically.
What's your
Okay.
current living situation? Are you
Okay.
renting? How long's the lease?
Okay. What's
Oh,
your current living situation. Okay. For those that are just joining, uh, we are collaborating on questions, discovery types of questions, to um, dig some information from customers entering through an open house. So far, um, what we've come up with is what type of financing, what's your purpose for moving, and then specifics for proximity to school, job, relocation, what brought you in, how did you happen to find us, um, what's your current living situation, and then identifying specifics regarding that. Renting, okay. There's only going to be a few answers: renting, owning, and that's going to perhaps spin off. Do you have to sell something before you purchase something? Good, good questions. How long have you been shopping?
How long have you been shopping?
How soon are you planning on moving?
Ooh, okay, good. How long have you been shopping? How soon?
I always ask them that when they get done, if they would give me a score of this house from like 1 to 10 on their list, just to get a feel for whether they like it or not, and if this would fit their needs.
Okay. So, closing questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, just as well as having the initial, you got to have a closing to kind of get direction on how to take them to the next level.
Right. Through the discovery in the technical sense of sales in a presentation, the discovery sets up the close.
Mm.
And so you're right. When you say, does this fit your needs, you're going to know specifically, or pretty close about what their needs are, based upon the discovery. So you'll be able to anticipate if there's any objections to that. Just okay. Um, how and then you ask them. Uh, Closing. Marie, you brought up another question was on a scale from 1 to 10. So what you're doing there is identifying the solution or presenting a problem. So you're identifying solutions. So it's identifying solutions or identifying problems or solutions.
It also opens you back up for feedback too. You'd like feedback on this home. The seller would like feedback on this home, right?
Yes, but yeah, absolutely. In a sales sense, what that information is going to provide you with is there a solution here that I can solve for you, or is there a problem here? I can help find a solution somewhere else for you. Absolutely. Okay. What type of financing? The purpose for moving? Then specify follow-up question. What brought you in here today? Or how did you find us? What's your current living situation? And then identify specifics: renting, owning. How long have you been shopping? How soon do you plan on moving? Have you written any other offers?
Ooh, yeah, that's a
Have you
good one.
made
Yeah.
have you made any other offers?
That right there will tell you.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good. That's the bingo. That's the money
Have
shot.
you made?
Also tells you if they have another broker.
Yep.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta remember. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Have you made any offers? Okay. There's also follow-up questions to each one of these as well. For example, how long have you been shopping? Well, we've just started. Okay, if you've just started, how many homes have you seen so far?
Mm.
Um, have you been utilizing, just out of curiosity, have you been utilizing open houses to view the inside of homes, or are you utilizing a real estate broker for that purpose?
Or circumvent that and have you been getting private showings?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. And then this is all during a product tour. When you're demonstrating the product, you should know the home. Obviously, you want to get to the home, turn on all the lights, familiarize yourself with the closets. If you have a sticky closet, you want to be able to demonstrate the property and demo, not crash down, but demonstrate the property and all of its features and become acquainted with the property, which is why it's always good, if you can, to tour the property a day before. And while you're out there touring the property, you door knock the neighborhood with your information. But I know life gets busy and kids demand our attention, and we have flat tires in our transactions that sometimes don't permit us to do that extra first stuff. So if you are not able to, then get out there early. If you have a 12 o'clock um, open house, maybe show up at 11, depending upon your setup and things that you do.
I've definitely started coming earlier to my open houses specifically for my setup. Now that
Mhm.
I've got my open house kit, if you will. I even bring a mat. I noticed that some of the houses don't have a mat to wipe your feet off at the front door, so I bring a mat to wipe your feet off at the front door. I got my little booties there, and then I set up my stuff in the kitchen. I got two things of flyers and my business cards and
Mhm.
my check-in sheet, and I've got quite this little setup, if you will.
Yes, your open house kit. That's a very smart thing. Another thing you may want to add, if you don't already have that, is a room deodorizer, some Febreze.
Right,
Okay.
Some houses more than others.
You
right,
might need 2 bottles of that.
right. Paper towels.
Paper towels.
Uh,
Windex for
Yep.
counters and stuff if you need to
Yep.
wipe them down.
Very good. Very good. Always ask, if you can, the owner if they have Wi-Fi access.
Oh.
Otherwise, you're going to tether your phone. You can use
uh,
your phone for wireless.
Well, and the other thing is too, with open houses, and I know most of us already do this, is we're all in the business for the long term. So you may not pick up a client, but I want them to remember my name and I want them to remember me in a good way. So that when they see my name later on, they go, oh, yeah, I liked that agent. So that's really important for your long term success.
Yeah, it's a chess match for sure. It's not checkers.
Mhm.
Jr. Open house techniques, some thoughts, some additional questions regarding. We've talked about some open house kits. Another thing about your kit is I always bring a Bluetooth speaker with me, so I can have rhythm in the property. Just have some background music going. Um, Play what's comfortable for you, obviously.
Because we know
Um,
Todd's rocking it out, is what he's doing.
I play Madonna and Prince. Okay.
I broke my speaker.
With Madonna and Prince.
Yeah, he did. Keep it below 20, pal. So a little candy dish. I like to,
Hmm.
provide a little candy dish, and you can go, perhaps for more of your upper end. I'll have some type of a tray with wrapped. These are wrapped goods. Potato chips, cheese and crackers, um, you know, pepperoni sticks. I'll have some nice bottled water. set out. So, something that will attract and keep people at the property. And you never know if they've been out touring all day and they haven't had a chance to stop to get some. Oh, another thing to bring in your kid is toilet paper.
You know what actually could be kind of fun too, I've seen people do is either have labels made for their water or tape your business card on the water. So they walk out with it.
Exactly. That's a fantastic branding idea.
Hmm.
Exactly. Good. Good. So, questions. I'm just going to run through this list, and it may spark another thought or an idea. What type of financing um, was your purpose for moving, or what brought you, and then what brought you in today? How did you happen to find us? What's your current living situation? Then you identify rent, owning, if they have to purchase something else. Um, how long have you been shopping? Here's another one. What type of financing are you using? How long have you been shopping? How soon do you plan on moving? Making this move, making this transition. Have you made any other offers? How many homes have you seen? Um, what was it? What was it that you or what is it that you liked most that brought you in? What attracted you to come in today to this particular property? What was it about this that brought you in today? And then you can sometimes lead them a little bit. Price, location, size, just sort of, blanket that and then see where they go. Because, that type of discovery question will help you then move into the next stage of your product demo, into identifying needs or problem solving when they say, hey, what brought me into this was size and location. Okay, great. Size and location is what brought you into that. I'm locking that piece of information in. And so when I'm demoing the house, I'm going to say, is this room size? Are you looking for specific room sizes, or are the bedrooms not so specific, but actual living space in terms of size? And see, all I'm trying to do is identify problems and solve and create solutions. And if this is not your house, I'll try to talk you out of this house. I, Based upon what I heard, I don't think this is going to work for you. Another thing that you may want to have then handy is a list of other homes that are $10,000 below and maybe $30,000 above within the same proximity, and say, have you seen these properties in your search? Oh, by the way, I can email you this list and you can do some drive-bys. I'm off at 4 o'clock. If you like to, I can schedule some appointments. We can see the insides of these houses later today.
I do that specifically before the open house in my pre-packets. Not only do I print the flyer for the home, I
Mm-hmm.
also do a little CMA with some other properties that are the
Nice.
same number of bedrooms, same number of bathrooms in the area, so that I can show them the price comparative to other homes of this nature in
Mm-hmm.
the neighborhood. This is either a good value or not a good value, and then I can show them the number of days on market. I Maybe I get tied up into it, but I ask them how this market's crazy right now, and you're not always uh, negotiating with the sellers. You're negotiating with other buyers. If it's only been on market for less than 10 days or 2 weeks, you're typically negotiating with other buyers, where if it's been on the market for 30 days, then you're starting to negotiate with the sellers again. So, if you want to bid on this house at 10 days, you're going to want to put in an offer, that exceeds the sale amount, where one of these other properties that's 30 days, you may get that with an offer at asking. And I don't know if I'm going beyond, but I'm kind of giving them my personal insight to the pricing and how to negotiate the sale.
What you're doing is that you're presenting a solution to their pain. And then, in order to create value, you can bring it back to what you've identified in your discovery. When you present a solution based upon pain, it can be pain in general. What a lot of buyers are discovering is they have to write all these offers before they get one accepted. And then, your solution, based upon your presentation is, where you're not competing with this, that, and the other, which is why, once you find the right home that is at the correct price with the size and location, you don't want to lose it, right? All of a sudden, you've tied it back into their wants, needs, and desires, which you have discovered, and then you can create higher amount of value with your solution to their pain based upon what you've learned. Then you go into what Marie introduced earlier regarding closing. Does this fit your needs? Based upon what we've done, how would you rate this house on a scale from 1 to 10? And does this fit your needs? Would you like to go ahead and buy this home? Or can I provide you with some other alternatives?
Well, another way too to get them to circle back and let you call them is if they do express interest, say, hey, if you're not the listing agent, obviously I'm really good friends with the listing agent. Let me see what the activity is. I can help you strategize because I've got an inside track here. Kind of draw them in, get their contact information that way. Tell them you'll call them and let them know how the open house went. Did you have 10 people or 500, right?
Good closing. Good close.
Oh, Doug, one more thing. Do you do your own flyers? If you're doing somebody else's listing, do you put your face and phone number and everything on the flyers? Because that is a great way to get your name passed around.
Yeah, actually, I do. I have a flyer that says not only your neighbor, I'm your realtor, and it's got all of my information. And I staple that right on the top of it's a half a page, and I staple that right on top of my packet that I usually that I give to everybody. Sometimes when somebody comes in with their own agent, I'll take that off. But yeah, I have my own page of propaganda about myself, and then I have the flyer about that individual home, and then I have a short CMA on several half a dozen properties that show the comparison to the number of bedrooms, bathrooms in that same area.
It sounds like a great packet. Yes.
Well, I don't know if I'm pitching. I mean, I pick the properties that I want in there, and usually I pick properties that are of a higher value, just so that I can show that if you did take advantage of this property compared to the other ones, it looks like you know have a very good value. There'd be you're getting a good value.
Great information. I have, if you don't know this already, you'll know now, which would be some great information, is that the FHA mortgage limits are going to be adjusted on January 1st. January 1st, the new FHA loan limits in the Seattle, Tacoma area, or I'm sorry, Seattle, Tacoma, Bellevue, for a one family FHA is 891,000.
Wow.
For a one family home, FHA new limit, loan limits, these are loan limits, not price, but loan limits for Mount Vernon, Anacortes, 473,000. And then Snohomish, where is that? Wait a minute. Here it is. Snohomish County, 891.
Wow.
So Snohomish County and King County now have the same FHA loan limits.
Wow.
Snohomish County 891, King County 891.
Wonder what the
Wow.
mortgage insurance is on that.
Ugh.
Okay,
And
what's the stroke
Gadget,
like that?
Gadget County 473. That's for a single family. Two family, I mean, it scales up. You can get this information, but a lot of what we do is single family. If you get into multiple family, it obviously escalates about $200,000 per level. So essentially, just under $900,000 for a single family home in King and Snohomish County.
So in Snohomish County, for a duplex,
A duplex is
And-
$1.1 million.
Holy
wow.
crap.
Holy cow.
It's a minimum FHA. And that means you can put 3% down or 3.5%.
What's the stroke on that?
Dang.
Probably going to be about $6,200 a month.
Who's making that kind of money?
Normally they're putting a little bit more down, but that's well, it's adjusting according to the times.
Have you ever seen those levels go down? Or they'll always just continue to go up?
Maybe they have gone down. I haven't heard of it. Maybe they did adjust down a little bit during the recession. Oh, it's 9:00, and I have to be disciplined. I have a list of calls I need to start making at 9:00.
You changed my time, right, to 11?